Hello. Welcome to another lesson here with us at Mathematics Resource Center. And today we'll be looking at significant figures. So let's get right into it. So significant figures are kind of a tricky one sometimes, right? So let's look at when numbers are significant. So we have 10 digits, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. From 1 to 9 is always significant. However, 0 is significant sometimes. Alright? So, depending on where the 0 is, it might be significant or it might not be significant. Let's look at the first example here. When it's a leading 0, it's not significant. When it comes in front of the numbers, it comes in front of the significant numbers, then it's not significant. And there is another situation when it's you would say for instance you have 2000, right? These three zeros are not significant either. One is, yes, they come after a significant number, which is a 2. However, they are still not significant. For them to be significant, we must have a decimal point behind it or another digit for them to be significant. Alright, so we looked at two ways that they're not significant. Let's look at how they are significant. If they fall between two significant numbers, then they are significant. So this 0 right here is significant. It falls between the 5 and the 8, and the 5 and the 8 are definitely significant. Alright, and if it's a trailing the 0 means that it falls after a significant figure, and that significant figure comes after a decimal point, right? So that would be trailing 0. All right, okay, so let's look at some examples now, right? So the first one, the instruction says run each of the following numbers to two significant figures. Before we run them to two significant figures, we're going to look through to see how many significant figures is in each. So let's look at A. A has two significant figures. 1, 1 and the 2. They are significant. The zeros that or the zeros that follow are not significant. Alright, so 12,000 has two significant figures. Let's look at B. B has three significant figures. The zeros that follow, right? They come after a significant figure, but for them to be significant, there must be some point or there might have been another significant figure. So those zeros are not significant. C has all of those digits. There's no 0 there, so all of those are significant. So C has 5 significant figures. Good. D has 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figure. The 0 here is not significant because this is a leading 0, so it's not significant. But these digits are significant. So this one has 4 significant figures. Alright. The E has 4 as well. The zeros at the front are not significant. So it has 4 significant figures. Let's look at F now. F, this 0, this 0, this 0. We call them leading zeros. They are not significant. They come before a significant number. They are not significant. However, these zeros, they come after a significant number and there's a point in front. So as long as these two things are present, the decimal point, they fall in after a significant number and there's a decimal point, then they are significant. So let's look at this case. If it was this number, then you know that 1, 2, 3 would not be significant. But now when we have this number, right? Yes, these three came after a significant number, but two things must be present coming after a significant number and the decimal point. So these three come after a significant number and the decimal point is present. So they are significant. Alright? So in this number we have 4 significant figures. And in G we have 5 significant figures. The zeros at the front are not significant. However, the zeros at the back are significant. Alright, so the zeros are your only concern when it comes to significant figures. Let's do the rounding now. If it's 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's going to remain, right? If it is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we're going to add 1, or it's going to increase. So we can say add 1, or we can say increase. Alright, so it's going to increase. So let's look at 12,000. Two significant figure coming from your left. So go 1, 1, 2. Draw my line after. I look at the digit that comes after. If it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then the 2 is not going to change. But if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that comes after, then the 2 is going to increase by 1. When we look at the digit that comes after, it's a 0. So that means that when our number is not going to change. So when we write it down to two significant number, it will still be 1200. Because we'll fill these slots with placeholders, and the placeholders are 0, and what we had there was 0, right? So let's look at B, right? It says we're supposed to round it off to two significant figures. So we'll go 1, 2, and we're going to draw a line. Draw a line after the 6, after we count our second. Look at the digit that comes after the line, which is the 3. The 3 here, right? Is it more than 5, or is it less than? Is it 5 or more, or is it less than 5? It is less than 5. That means our digit that comes in front, which is our 6, is not going to change. So our answer is going to be 46, and every digit that comes after, we're going to fill those slots with 0. Alright? So let's look at C now. And C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures there. And so round off to two significant figure. So we're going to count two significant figures. 1, 2, draw a line. Good? Now, we look at the digit that comes after. It's a 7. So because it's a 7, looking at what we have over here, it says if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we're going to add 1. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 1 to that. And now we get 56. And every slot that comes after, we're going to fill it with zeros for the whole number aspect. For the decimal aspect, we're not going to put anything there. If we were supposed to put the point, then that's going to change our value from having two significant figures to having 4. So we're not going to put any decimal point, and we're not going to fill any slot for the decimal aspect. Alright, so this is definitely two significant figures. Let's go with D now. Two significant figures. So we go 1, 2, because the zeros at the front are not significant. Draw a line. We're going to add 1 there. So adding the 1 now, we end up with 0.050. Because let's just work it out here. We add 1 to that. 1 and 9 is 10. 4 and 1 is 5. And a 0. So we'll end up with 0.050. And remember, for the decimal section, we do not put any placeholders. So our answer is a 0.50. Okay, so by now you should have an idea of what is expected of you as it relates to the questions. Go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to write the solutions for E and F and G. So I want you to pause the video. Try E, try F on your own, try G on your own, and then come back to the video and see if your answers are correct. So I'm going to go ahead and write in the solution for E and F and G. So that's 0.0078, and F is 0.040, and G is 0.0065. Alright, so I hope that you got those answers for yourself, and leave a comment below question below and I will try to respond as quickly as possible. All right, until next time, bye bye.